Jennifer didn't just turn him away. She grabbed her phone, called security, told them to remove him immediately. Get him out of my building. Now, the man didn't fight, didn't raise his voice, just looked at her with this calm expression and walked toward the exit. Security escorted him through the lobby, past 20 employees, past the glass doors, out onto the street. Jennifer watched him leave, felt satisfied, like she'd just handled a problem. But here's what she didn't know. That man controlled $3.8 billion. He'd flown in from Manhattan specifically to save her dying company. And in less than 48 hours, Jennifer's company would be finished. Let me take you back 3 months. Cortec Industries, once valued at $800 million. A Silicon Valley darling. The kind of startup everyone wanted a piece of. But something went catastrophically wrong. Revenue collapsed. Burn rate hit $8 million a month. Major clients left. Investors started pulling out. And suddenly this billion-dollar dream was 11 weeks away from total bankruptcy. The CEO? Jennifer Lawrence. Stanford MBA. Trust fund baby. The kind of woman who'd never struggled for anything in her entire life. Brilliant, polished, used to getting exactly what she wanted. But now, she was desperate. Her company was dying. Fast. And she knew it. There was only one way out. A Series C funding round. $500 million. Enough to stop the bleeding and buy them 2 more years to turn things around. Jennifer had been pitching investors for months. Flying across the country. Sitting in conference rooms with people who used to return her calls in minutes. Now, they barely responded to her emails. She'd sent hundreds of pitches, made dozens of calls. And finally, after weeks of brutal rejection, someone said yes. Daniel Reeves, an investor from Manhattan. Cortec Ventures. Jennifer had never heard of him. But her CFO, Arthur, said he was legitimate. Said this Daniel guy had serious money. Real money. So Jennifer agreed to the meeting. 9 a.m. Her office. Final pitch for $500 million. This was it. Her last real shot. The morning of the meeting, Jennifer's running on 3 hours of sleep and way too much coffee. She's wearing her best suit. Hermes. $2,300. Her assistant, Lita, has the conference room perfect. Presentation loaded. Water bottles arranged. Everything pristine. Because this meeting has to be flawless. One mistake, and it's over. Arthur walks in at 8:45. They confirmed for 9? Jennifer nods. Cortec Ventures. Daniel Reeves. Flying in from New York. Arthur checks his watch. We need this. Jennifer doesn't respond. Because need isn't strong enough. Without this deal, they're dead. 9 a.m. arrives. Nobody shows up. 9:10. Still nothing. Jennifer's pacing now. Checking her phone every 20 seconds. Where is he? Lita pokes her head in. Still no word from his office. 9:20. Jennifer's patience is gone. She's furious. And then someone walks into the lobby. A man, mid-40s, black, wearing a faded polo shirt and wrinkled khakis. Sneakers that look like they came from a clearance rack. No briefcase. No laptop. Just a worn backpack over one shoulder. He walks up to the reception desk. Lita's sitting there. She looks up. Can I help you? The man smiles. Polite. Warm. I'm here for a 9 o'clock with Jennifer Lawrence. Lita blinks. Stares at him. And you are? Daniel Reeves. Lita looks him up and down. Then glances at her computer screen. Then back at him. She doesn't say anything. Just picks up the phone. Jennifer? There's someone here who says he has a meeting with you. Jennifer's voice comes through sharp. Is it Cortec Ventures? Lita hesitates. Looks at Daniel again. He says his name is Daniel Reeves. Finally, send him in. Lita sets the phone down. She looks at Daniel with obvious doubt written all over her face. She'll be right out. Daniel nods. Takes a seat in the lobby. And that's when Jennifer walks out. She's expecting a suit. A Rolex. Polished shoes. The kind of investor who looks like money. Instead, she sees Daniel. And her entire expression shifts. She stops dead in the doorway. Looks him up and down slowly. And then she does something that will destroy everything she's built. She turns to Lita. Who is this? Lita stammers. He said he's Daniel Reeves. From Cortec Ventures. Jennifer looks back at Daniel. And there's zero warmth in her eyes. Just cold judgment. There must be some kind of mistake. Daniel stands. Extends his hand. No mistake. Daniel Reeves. We scheduled this yesterday. Jennifer doesn't shake his hand. Doesn't even look at it. I don't think so. Daniel's smile fades just slightly. I confirmed with your office yesterday afternoon. I flew in from Manhattan this morning specifically for this meeting. Jennifer crosses her arms. Look, I don't know who you are or what you think you're doing here, but I'm expecting a legitimate investor. Not. She waves dismissively at his clothes. Whatever this is. The lobby goes completely silent. Lita looks like she wants to disappear into the floor. Daniel just stands there, calm, patient, like he's seen this exact situation play out before. Ms. Lawrence, I understand there might be some confusion, but if you just… There's no confusion. Jennifer's voice is ice now. You're not Daniel Reeves. Daniel Reeves runs a multi-billion-dollar venture capital firm. He doesn't show up to pitch meetings looking like he just rolled out of bed. Daniel's jaw tightens slightly, but his voice stays level. Appearances can be deceiving. Jennifer actually laughs. Not a real laugh. The kind designed to humiliate someone, right? And I'm supposed to believe you flew in from New York to invest $500 million in my company dressed like that? That was my intention, yes. Jennifer turns to Lita, her voice sharp. Call security. Lita's eyes go wide. Jennifer, maybe we should just… I said call them. Now. Daniel doesn't move, doesn't panic, doesn't get defensive. He just looks at Jennifer with this expression that's impossible to read. Disappointment, maybe, or pity. Ms. Lawrence, I think you're making a serious mistake here. The only mistake, Jennifer says coldly, was letting you waste my time in the first place. 2 security guards arrive within a minute. Large guys, serious faces. They look uncomfortable but professional. Jennifer points directly at Daniel. Escort him out. Make sure he doesn't come back. The guards exchange glances. One of them steps forward, puts a hand gently on Daniel's shoulder. Sir, you need to leave. Daniel looks at Jennifer one last time, holds her gaze for a long moment. Then he nods. Understood. He turns and walks toward the exit. The guards follow him closely. The entire lobby is watching now. 20 employees frozen at their desks. And just before he reaches the glass doors, Daniel stops. Turns back. For what it's worth, Ms. Lawrence, I hope you find what you're looking for. Then he's gone. Jennifer walks back into her office, slams the door hard enough that the walls shake. Arthur's waiting inside. He looks up immediately. What happened? Where's the investor? Some con artist tried to crash the meeting. Arthur frowns deeply. Con artist? Yeah. Claimed he was Daniel Reeves. Showed up looking like he works at a gas station. Arthur goes pale. Actually pale. What did you say his name was? Daniel Reeves. But it obviously wasn't him because… Arthur's already pulling out his phone, typing frantically with shaking hands. Jennifer, what did this guy look like? She shrugs, annoyed. I don't know. Black guy? Mid-40s. Polo shirt. Khakis. Backpack. Why does it matter? Arthur turns his phone around with a trembling hand. It's a Forbes article from 2 months ago. The headline reads, Daniel Reeves, the billionaire investor who deliberately dresses like he's broke. Jennifer stares at the screen. There's a photo, crystal clear. The same man, the exact same polo shirt, standing in front of a massive Cortec Ventures logo. Her stomach drops like she's falling off a building. No. Arthur's voice is shaking badly now. Jennifer, that was him. That was actually him. You just had security throw out Daniel Reeves. Jennifer grabs the phone out of his hands, scrolls desperately through the article. The words blur, but certain phrases jump out. Reeves is legendary in Silicon Valley for his unconventional approach to vetting founders. He deliberately dresses casually to every first meeting to test whether entrepreneurs respect ideas over appearances. Cortec Ventures currently manages $3.8 billion in assets under management. Of his 47 investments, 43 have become successful exits or continue to grow profitably. Industry insiders say Reeves rarely gives second chances to founders who fail his character test. Jennifer's hands are trembling so badly, she almost drops the phone. Get him back. Right now? Call his office. Tell them there was a misunderstanding. Tell them anything. Arthur's already dialing. Puts it on speaker with shaking hands. A woman answers after 2 rings. Professional. Cool. Cortec Ventures. Hi. Yes, this is Arthur Chun, CFO of Cortec Industries. We had a meeting scheduled this morning with Mr. Reeves that didn't go as planned and I'm aware of what happened. Arthur hesitates. There was a significant miscommunication on our end. We'd really like to reschedule as soon as possible too. Mr. Reeves is no longer interested in meeting with your company. Please, if we could just have 5 minutes to explain the situation. The woman's voice stays perfectly professional, but there's steel underneath. Mr. Reeves was extremely clear with me. He doesn't invest in companies run by people who judge him before hearing his ideas. I'm sorry. Have a good day. Click. The line goes dead. Jennifer sinks slowly into her chair like all the air has left her body. Arthur stares at her. And for the first time in the 3 years he's worked here, there's real anger in his voice. You just killed this company. Within 6 hours, the news spreads through Silicon Valley like wildfire. The German investors Jennifer had lined up as backup, they pull out immediately. If Cortec Ventures passed, we're not interested either. The board calls an emergency meeting that same evening. Jennifer tries to explain, tries to spin the story, makes excuses about miscommunication and unfortunate circumstances. But the damage is already done. Everyone knows what really happened. By the end of the week, 3 more potential investors withdraw their interest. The 11-week cash runway? Now it's 7. Jennifer becomes desperate in a way she's never experienced before. She flies to Manhattan unannounced, shows up at Cortec Ventures headquarters at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, walks straight up to the reception desk. The receptionist, Becky, looks up with a professional smile. Good morning. Do you have an appointment? No, but I need to speak with Daniel Reeves immediately. It's extremely urgent. Becky checks her computer screen, types something. I'm sorry. Mr. Reeves isn't available today. Please. Jennifer's voice cracks slightly. I just need 5 minutes. 5 minutes of his time. Becky's expression softens just a fraction. I'll let his assistant know you're here. But I can't make any promises. Jennifer nods desperately. Thank you. I'll wait. She waits. 4.5 hours in that lobby. Watching people come and go. Successful founders. Happy investors. People whose lives aren't falling apart. And finally, at 1:30 in the afternoon, Daniel walks out. He's still wearing a polo shirt. Dark blue this time. Ms. Lawrence. Jennifer stands immediately. Almost knocks over her coffee. Mr. Reeves. Thank you for seeing me. Daniel doesn't sit down. Just stands there with his arms crossed. I'm listening. I owe you an apology. A massive apology. What I did was inexcusable. Daniel nods slowly. It was. I made a terrible judgment call. I let my assumptions override basic decency and respect. And I was completely wrong. Daniel watches her carefully. Says nothing. I'm here to ask for a second chance. My company is 11 weeks from bankruptcy. 3,000 people are going to lose their jobs if we don't secure funding. I'm begging you to reconsider. Daniel studies her face for a long, uncomfortable moment. You didn't just misjudge me, Ms. Lawrence. You humiliated me. In front of your entire staff. You assumed I was lying about who I was based purely on how I looked. And then you had security physically remove me from your building. Jennifer's voice breaks. I know. And I'm so sorry. Are you sorry because you were wrong about me? Or are you sorry because it cost you something? Jennifer opens her mouth. Closes it. Can't find an answer. Daniel sighs deeply. I built my entire career on one simple principle. Character matters infinitely more than credentials. Intelligence matters less than integrity. You failed that test spectacularly. He turns to walk away. Wait. Please. Daniel stops. Doesn't turn around. Jennifer's crying now. Actually crying. Please. I'll do anything. Literally anything you ask. Daniel looks back over his shoulder. Anything. Yes. Then prove it. Public press conference. You admit exactly what you did. Not just to me. To everyone. To every news outlet that will listen. Jennifer hesitates. Feels her stomach twist. And one more thing. Daniel continues quietly. You step down as CEO. You hand the company over to someone who actually understands what leadership means. Jennifer's face goes completely white. Do those 2 things, and I'll consider investing. Not in you. Never in you. But in the company you're leaving behind. 2 days later, Jennifer holds a press conference in downtown San Francisco. Every major tech publication is there. TechCrunch, The Verge, Wired, Bloomberg. She stands at a podium. No script. No PR team feeding her lines. And she tells the truth. All of it. The bias. The arrogance. The catastrophic mistake. The video goes absolutely viral. 30 million views in 1 week. 50 million in 2. The comments are brutal. Merciless. But some are supportive. People admitting they've made similar mistakes. She resigns the next day. Arthur becomes CEO. Daniel invests the $500 million. But only after implementing mandatory unconscious bias training across the entire company. all 3,000 employees, including the board. 1 year later, Cortec Industries is thriving. Revenue up 127%. Employee satisfaction doubled. Turnover cut in half. And Jennifer? She's no longer CEO. She's no longer running anything. But she's still around, teaching workshops on unconscious bias, speaking at conferences about privilege and leadership humility, doing the uncomfortable work. Because here's what she learned the hard way. Respect isn't something you earn based on appearance. It's something you give because every human being walking this planet deserves it. And the moment you forget that, the moment you decide someone's worth is determined by their clothes, or their skin, or their accent, you lose everything that actually matters. If this story made you stop and think, drop a comment below. Have you ever judged someone too quickly and regretted it later? And if you want more stories where arrogance meets brutal consequences, hit that subscribe button right now. Because trust me, we're just getting started.